Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your lead Scentsy consultant. So today I have for you a warm review on the 5 holiday bricks that will be available on October the 17th. And please know that you can go right on my website. If you are a new customer, they will ship directly to you. You don't have to worry about things getting hung up in a tangle. If you put it into a party, it will ship directly. It doesn't have to wait for the party to close. All those good things. And you can always email me or ask questions in the comments below if you are specifically interested in purchasing these from me. Anyway, let's get into all of these different scents. I am very, very excited about a couple of them and pretty happy about the entire batch. It really isn't a case of any bad brick or any bad bar. As I will show you and remind you, you can get these as a bar size. So the first brick that I'm going to show you is not in this year's collection. I just wanted to illustrate the idea that if you have a Scentsy club or you want to start a Scentsy club, that you can have a bar size. So last year, my favorite brick, which was not a crowd pleaser across the board, was the Sweet Orange Pomander, which is just so good if you love spice. But it also came, of course, in the bar size, which I put into my club, and I have 2 full bricks almost. Plus, I can always get the bar size when my bricks run out. A brick is about 5.5 bars of wonderful Scentsy wax, and that is how that works. So all of these, one of them already being in the catalog, you can get the bar size right now, but the rest of them will be available and can only be put in a club. You can't just order the bar size on the regular website as of October the 17th. So let's start by reviewing the first brick that is available this year, which is catalog current, and that is going to be your Icicles and Evergreen. This is a very solid scent. It is a good holiday scent. To me, it is a very traditional scent. And I have it warming in one of my pumpkin warmers today, because I didn't want to just not warm it again this year before I talked to you guys about it, in case it had gotten any more exciting to me, which it didn't, and in case I liked it less, which thankfully I don't. It's a great, solid, medium, in some spaces medium strong performer. It definitely has a really nice mix of sweetness and evergreen, a little bit of sort of a smolderiness. I wouldn't really call it smoke, but it's deep and a little bit woodsy. It has an apple note. I think that there might even be peach in the actual scent pyramid that we got last November in our flyers. And it's a really nice smell. So one of the things I was challenging myself to do with these 5 bricks was give you a home that I thought it represented well. So I am going to call Icicles and Evergreen the traditionalist's brick. This is perfect for the person who has that traditional red and green Christmas, where maybe they have really nice china on the table, they have a beautiful, perfect wreath on the front door where it's just greens with the red bow. I think that's Icicles and Evergreen. So it's really good. If you only want a bar, you can go and order one right now on my website or your own consultant's website, or you could wait and get your brick on the 17th. And then remember that bricks can be bundled 2 for $40, or I believe that they're $24 a piece if you buy them individually. I need to double check that. And that's still an incredibly good deal. So next, I'm going to go to one of the brand new ones, which is Frosted Petals. And this is a really beautiful floral, you guys. It's very wintry. I'm really happy with it. So you get the currant for sure. There's a white musk, there's Jingle Bell Orchid, which I'm not discerning distinctly, and there's the currant. Very, very lovely. If you are a lover of florals and you really don't dig the pine, you don't dig the cinnamon, you don't really love your bakery, this could be an incredibly nice option. And when I think of this scent, I think of someone's home where everything is done in cool, light colors. And they're the type of person that wouldn't be caught dead with bright red bow on their front door. They would do like the frosted branches with the little bits of evergreen, and everything is like icy. And in the home, maybe they're even the person that does that pink and blue Christmas, because there are brave souls that will do that and it looks amazing. And everything is like pastel and powdery and elegant and chic, and that's what I think of when I think of this particular scent. So all of these smells I think that they're fall winter appropriate. Do any of them to me scream Christmas or Christmas Eve or, the big holiday party? Not really, but they are all fall winter, and I think that they're all really good for making you feel in those different holiday moods. Like Icicles and Evergreen, Thanksgiving through Christmas. The Frosted Petals, maybe more like Christmas to New Year's. The next one that we're going to talk about is, I believe, the first cologne brick I have ever smelled from Scentsy. And the Frosted Petals is like a medium. It's not crazy strong. It's very, very nice. I'm happy to have the rest of that brick. I'm not at all mad that I'm going to be able to get through it. I'll probably mostly use it in bathrooms and bedrooms, although actually I don't have a warmer in my bathroom because my bathrooms are too small, but if I had bathrooms that had enough plugs, I would use it in there. Anyway, Winter's Eve. Winter's Eve is truly a winter cologne that leans very woodsy. It's very nice. I really enjoyed melting this. I think that I will like it better in January than I do right now because the weather's not quite cold enough to carry some of the scent notes in here. So this one's got bergamot. It has a certain kind of evergreen note, and then it has cedar, I believe, and it all reads very woodsy cologne. And you definitely get the bergamot. I'm not going to say it's like soapy. I know that a long time ago there was, I think, a ginger and spruce brick that everybody just said smelled like Irish Spring. I did not ever personally get my hands on that brick. But this thing does not want to close. Oh well. So this one I wanted to pair with some things. So when I did my melt of that, I did a whole day. I threw in around the campfire and alternate warmers with the Winter's Eve, and it definitely gave me more of the woodsiness rather than the cologne that I liked. So this was a good combination, and I have not done this yet, but I think if you wanted to amp up the evergreen note, that you could probably use iced pine, either mixed with that or in alternate warmers with that. Because I wouldn't do it necessarily with very snowy spruce or icicles and evergreen or even mighty pine. I think those notes might fight the cologne that's in Winter's Eve, but iced pine should play very nicely with it and give you that punch if you want to tamp down the cologne-y nature of that brick. But it's really, really good, and I think like January, February, I live in a very cold place, that will be very, very soothing, and it will be good to come down off of the intense Christmas spicy smells. So next we get to the brick that is the buzz brick. This is the popular brick, and that's going to be your maraschino sugar cookie. I like it, but I am not head over heels in love with it. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, Winter's Eve, definitely that masculine cabin in the woods where you've got lots of furs and you've got, snowshoes up on the wall, and you have the big, chunky, clunky bells that have been so popular, like those gigantic, rustic jingle bells up on the mantle with like some real evergreen roping and just like a really casual woodsy Christmas. That's what I think of with Winter's Eve. Anyway, back to maraschino sugar cookie. This one is very bakery. It's nice and sweet. I didn't like it as much the first time that I melted it. Now, given I was trying to do a bunch of things in different places, so I threw it in my bedroom. Maybe not the best space for this. So it had a couple more days to breathe, and I threw it into my Florida room in the back. I got more in this of the notes of the vanilla and the cherry drizzle and the sugar cookie that time. Also, I did mix this directly with sugar cookie, and that lightened it up a little bit for me, and it was fantastic. I know for some people it's probably blasphemy to mess with this at all because they're so in love with it, but I like it a lot. I think this is probably the only one that really screams like making Christmas cookies. It does smell like some of those cookies that you make, especially the ones where you put the maraschino cherry in the center, or, you're chopping up the cherries and you're putting them on the Christmas tree, like as little ornaments and things. Definitely you've got that here. I like it enough that I might put a bar size in my club, but I don't think I'm going to order another brick. I need to melt this a few more times to see if I fall in love with it more or if it's just like really nice. And what I think of when I think of this is the person who has the aqua, the white, and the red Christmas with all the things in their kitchen where they go a little bit retro, and you've got like the Rudolph mugs and, the Santa Claus faces, and everything just it pops and it's bright and it's vibrant and it's like sweet and sugary. There are lots of candy cane stripes in the decorating. That's what I think of when I think of this one. So then, if you you watched my cold sniff reviews, you guys know I went absolutely crazy for the last brick. And before I show you the brick, I want to explain why. I have been with Scentsy as a customer for over a decade. And every year that there is something with chestnut in the notes of the bar, the brick, whatever they bring out, I smell it, I like it, but I do not love it. I have 2 other scents by other companies that have chestnut notes, and I love chestnut, that are like holy grails for me. First one is not a lot like the caramel chestnut brick, so I'm not trying to say that they are similar, but the chestnut note in this is an old candle. It's one I refuse to burn. It's from Bath & Body Works, and it is my absolutely beloved Chestnut and Clove. Oh, this scent, you guys. This scent, someday somebody's going to make a melt that smells like this, and then I'm going to buy like 500. This is so hard to describe. It is one of my favorite scents of all time. I'd wear this as perfume. This is an old candle, and it says roasted chestnut, clove buds, pine, cedarwood, and velvety moss. So this is definitely more woodsy than what Scentsy produced with the chestnut and caramel. But the note of chestnut that is in this is so just up my alley. It's something I treasure, and I have a couple of beat up candles like this that I actually cut up and melt, but the throw is just not great because this is not designed to throw like a wax melt. So then a couple years ago, Yankee did me a huge favor and came out with this, which is golden chestnut. This one is like halfway in between the candle that I showed you and the caramel chestnut brick. And this, I've got like 3 full clams and then a couple more cubes. This, to me, is quintessential Thanksgiving. It's got the roasted chestnut, it's got sweet depth, and it also has a lot of spice. It's such a good smell. And this does throw very well. I melt it around Thanksgiving. It's discontinued. I can't get it. I can't club it. It's a different company. But it's so good. So, knowing how much I loved this, I was so hoping that when I opened the clam of caramel chestnut, that it would be close enough to those, that it would finally be the Scentsy version of a knock it out of the park chestnut scent. And I do like caramel, and it's fine if they balance together. I would prefer a little bit of spice and woodiness with my chestnut. And we do have toasted acorn and oak, which has a chestnut note, but again, it just wasn't, there's this roasty, toasty, golden warmth to chestnut that those other things that I just showed you have. Then I opened this clam, you guys. I finally got, hence all the, yelling and squealing, I got it from Scentsy. It is a gourmand chestnut and caramel, beautiful, absolutely fantastic, perfect smell. And that's why I lost my mind. If you guys are not chestnut devotees, you may not like this one at all. But that is the reason that this is absolutely hands down my top brick by like miles. If this was a horse race, the rest of the horses would be back in the pack and this thing would be like way, like quarter mile ahead for my particular viewpoint, just because it met this emotional need that I've been waiting for Scentsy to figure out what bar, what brick it's going to be. I'm going to get 2 bricks of this, I think, the 2 for $40. And I'm absolutely putting this thing in my club. It's probably never coming out unless they top it with something that has spice and chestnut and sweetness. It is so good. And then, of course, this one, because y'all see how I like my warm colors, this one is that golden Christmas that deals with all the spices, and there's lots of gingerbread, and it's that home where you walk in and it's both elegant and warm, and everything is just that perfection of hearth and home like I love. And it's a place where you feel welcomed, but you also feel pampered. That's how I feel about this scent. This would be the person with the wreath on their front door that's got like the exquisite gold baubles, and then like I actually have chestnut and acorn shaped ornaments and the gilded pine cones, like totally. That's what I think of when I smell this. And that is my warm review on the bricks. I actually am not truly disappointed in any of them. Compared to last year, I really, really didn't like that pinkish one. It was like poinsettia and something. I did not care for that brick at all. I actually tried to sell it at a garage sale this year, ruined it because I left it out in the heat and threw it away. None of these are like that for me. I also struggle with fluffy fleece. I have it, and I know many people adore that scent. I just didn't so much. So I feel like this collection of 5 was more successful for me, and I will happily melt all of them. So obviously you know that I love the one so much more than the others. Next would be the maraschino sugar cookie, which I think over time I'm going to fall in love with and going to want to club. And then the others, I don't need to club them, but I will absolutely enjoy melting them. So this is Elizabeth Quinn with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Again, hop on my website on October the 17th if you need a consultant. And also just remember that liking and subscribing to my channel is something I'm very, very grateful for, and all of your amazing comments. I really appreciate them. Have an amazing day. And thank you guys for how much you loved the cold sniffs video on this. I think it was a record breaker. Have a good night. Bye-bye.